and go and do that. Because before you know it, you're gonna be dead. Aren't you? And you know that I know that you know it's the truth. Come on, get up. Do you, please? Thank you. All right. Welcome back to the Do You show, ladies and gentlemen. If it's your first time, hello, give me a hug. Embrace it, baby. We are family. Did you feel the breath on the back of your ear? That'd be me, man. Sorry. Yeah, so for the new guys, Do You is a simple show. I sit down with people that are found and are following their callings unequivocally with the aim to motivate more of us to do the same, because I think we need to work out what we're on earth to do, and we need to do it, or we're just going to be sad. You might be an accountant, but really, deep down, you want to be a graphic designer. Start making a small change and make that happen. You might be a graphic designer that wants to be an accountant. Start making that small change and make that happen, bro. Or love, or whatever you are. I don't care if you're a transvestite. Like, all love, right? All love. Or maybe you're a shop assistant and you want to shine snails' shells for the rest of your life. There is no wrong or right with what you want to do with your life. You need to work it out, and you need to start getting on that and making that happen, please. Because we need your talents. We need your passion. Please don't walk around bored and wait for death. Don't wait for death. As a matter of fact, we are currently dying. I've said this before in a talk. You are closer to your death than you were when you first heard this interview. Sounds kind of disgusting and sad and creepy, but it's kind of true. And once we embrace that, I think we'll have some urgencies to do some good shit, man. So today's guest is DJ Todd Snips, good friend of mine, someone I hold in very high regard indeed. He's been in the game. He's a hip-hop producer and DJ. He's been in the game for like 15 plus years, and he's one of the founding members of the hip-hop night Livin Proof, which I'm sure if you're a Londoner and you're into hip-hop, you would have definitely heard of Livin Proof, man. And you know what? In my opinion, it's the best hip-hop night going on in London, but that's just my opinion. Do you know what I mean? It doesn't count for much, because who am I but a speck in this universe? Spiritual things. It's one of those nights where I totally just lose myself. Even in the queue, I'm already happy if I get in. Bloody hell, the queues are getting long, man. Todd, you need to sort that out. All of you lot. But yes, if you want to keep up to date with what I'm doing, again, my name is Reuben Christian. You can check out my website. It's reubenchristian.com. All social handles are /Reuben Christian, other than Instagram, which is Reuben Christian 1. Again, that's not an ego trip. I just didn't have any other options. I was going to go with Reuben Christian Egg, but I thought it was a shit name. It was a shit name, isn't it? So I went with Reuben Christian 1. Yeah, we're based here in fairgroundlondon.com. That's our spiritual home. That's where we get all our creative stuff done, as a matter of fact. Beautiful space. Check that out. And yeah, so this is my interview with Todd Snips, guys. This guy's a serious dude. He's a serious dude listening. Find out what you're here to do and go and do that. Because before you know it, you're gonna be dead. Does that feel too in your face, bro?
No, I just don't want it to swing about too much. Then...
Oh wow, there's a joke in there somewhere, bro. All right, so
I feel like a celebrity back here with this.
Bro, you are a celebrity, man, in your own right, bro.
I won't argue with that.
Have you ever felt like you were a celebrity? Have you ever walked in somewhere and people thought, oh my gosh, that's Snips?
Yeah, but never in London, funnily enough.
Seriously?
Yeah, it happens outside of London. I remember once me and Doc Brown, when I was DJing for, I mean, you're a comedian, so I'm sure you're familiar with who Doc Brown is.
Well, I'm a failed comedian, but I know Doc Brown.
well, Doc was a rapper.
Yeah.
Obviously, I think most people know that. And I used to be his tour DJ. And we went to Cornwall. Don't ask me exactly where in Cornwall we went to, but mine and his picture was in the local paper. So we went out to eat before the show, and we literally got mobbed. Like it's like this town had never had anybody pass through it other than people that were born and raised there.
May I ask what you were doing in Cornwall? You had a gig over there?
We performed in Cornwall, yeah. Yeah, so I mean, listen, man, the UK hip hop world, before it became the road rap scene, definitely had a weird reach, like a really weird reach. The kind of people that were into it, you would never expect being into hip hop.
Seriously?
We used to perform in all kinds of places, bro.
Ain't that the same now, though? Or is it? Are the crowds a lot more predictable?
I think they're a lot more predictable now. I think it's still very much within bigger cities that the hip hop scene is big, you know. But I'm talking about like real rap music, like not like obviously like, you know, your whoever's your Wretches and your Professor Greens or whatever. They're essentially not just rappers anymore. They're pop stars. So their reach is everywhere. But, you know, you probably might not see like a Giggs or a Krypton Conan doing a gig in Cornwall. You know, I might be wrong, but the real, that kind of real pure UK rap sound, bruv, that everywhere. And the most unassuming, unlikely fans. It was ridiculous.
I'm telling you, I was watching, what was it, Red Bull Sound Clash.
Yeah.
And I was like, every time, because being someone that's made film before, you're always looking at how they cut things together and stuff, right?
Yeah.
I was looking at the crowd, bruv, and I was like, the crowd do not seem like the kind of peeps that are from the ends that these guys are spitting.
Yeah. No, of course not. And you know what? I knew that because I remember I got called by Pierre from Grime Daily about sitting in and having a chat before at Red Bull about who was going to win, and basically it was all the grime heads there, Ace Squeezy and Jammer and all them.
Yeah,
and they so obviously they were all backing BBK, and obviously the assumption based upon my like controversial, you know, attitude to things was, Snips, you're going to think ASAP's going to win, so I want you to come down and you lot can argue it out and you can back ASAP and they can back.
And this is all supposed to be on camera and go out on Grime Daily.
Yeah, and I was like, neither of them are going to win. Like, bruv, this is Middle England coming. This is obviously it's going to be Chase and Status. Like, Chase and Status have such a reach that BBK and ASAP aren't hitting. Like
ASAP have international reach though, and they got a massive fan base over here. So I would have thought they would win by default, by numbers.
There's also very much a UK centric attitude in a clash like that. It's like, I'm doing this for London, like that kind of attitude. And I also, I don't even want to say anything bad because like I genuinely got a lot of love for ASAP, and there's people within that camp that I consider like good friends.
Yeah. You still want to get your gigs abroad, don't you?
No, not even that. But like, you know, Rocky's DJ, Jay Scott, is a good friend of mine. I had a long conversation with him beforehand, and I was trying to prep him for what to expect. And I was like, he was like, I think we're just going to do what we do. We're going to do the American thing. We're going to turn up, we're going to rap. And I was like, nah.
So you told them that?
I told them it's not going to cut it. It's not going to cut it. You guys have to
How
come
long
with
before
something.
the clash did you
A
tell
good
him
couple of weeks.
Yeah.
And the thing is, Jay Scott, I think, got it.
Yeah.
But I don't think, you know, there's a celebrity that comes with rap artists where they're like, come on, man.
Yeah, it's me though, isn't it?
Yeah, exactly.
Nuts.
But like I said, the best thing for them to do would be, because obviously Red Bull have got a budget. People are bringing over artists. I was like, bring Shabba Ranks. You bring Shabba Ranks out.
Yeah, you're
when
nice,
Ferg performs
mate.
Shabba.
Yeah.
It's shut down. It's a no-brainer, you know. But yeah, man. I mean, yeah. It wasn't a great look for.
Did you watch the whole clash back to back?
I watched bits and pieces of it. I didn't watch it when it was going on.
Okay.
But I watched bits and pieces of it.
Yeah.
I saw enough. I saw enough.
Really? Does that mean that you reached the point and you're like, you know what, I can't deal with this shit anymore, man, and turn it off? Is that what you mean by I saw enough?
I was literally, because it was quite long, I was watching it while doing other things.
Okay,
so
seen.
Yeah,
My
attention wasn't. Nah, that's not my preferred viewing material. A bunch of 25-year-old men jumping around the stage.
Yeah, or the whole
during sex.
Yeah, the whole BK. Real talk. See, I live a totally different life.
Shouting at me, you know.
Real talk.
I'll make your mom.
Oh my God.
That's not. Yeah, that's never gonna.
Yeah.
That's never gonna.
Yeah, let's
help
move.
The moment.
Let's move swiftly on. So when you went to Cornwall, you said you have never felt more like a celebrity than you went to Cornwall.
Brother, it was
but
mad.
you've done a lot, bro. You have done a lot. I'm sure
Thing
when
is,
you go abroad and spin, people know who you are.
I mean, I'm at a position. I'd like to be more known than what I am, and more respected for my craft or whatever. But I'm at a position where I'm heading in the direction that I've always wanted to be, which was that I want to be known for what I do as opposed to be known for being famous or known for being somebody. Like if you don't respect DJing or you're not somebody who listens to beats or whatever, then I don't really care if you know who I am. I like people that are hip hop fans that respect good DJs and respect producers I want them to know who I am and respect my craft.
Yeah.
If that makes sense. I never want to be that guy that's going to walk down the street and have people coming up to me asking me for autographs.
Yeah.
I want to be that guy in the club that goes unnoticed, apart from the guy who's like super into the style of music that I make or that I play. I want him to notice me. And do you see what I'm saying?
Yeah,
like
I get
it's more that kind of acknowledgement of what I do, as opposed to people knowing, oh, that's such and such a DJ. Yeah.
Cool. Aaron's leaving. Yeah,
Aaron, bless man. Take care. I'll see you soon.
So, are you there now? Are you in that state of mind right now?
In my little world, yeah, but I want to be that in my little world all over the world, if that makes sense.
Okay.
So I can go out to a party in East London,
Yeah.
and people will recognize me as a DJ, and I'll get respect from people or whatever.
Yeah.
I want that everywhere, but in the equivalent world everywhere.
Yeah. Why do you want that respect? If you don't mind me asking. I know it's a very personal question.
Thing is, one thing you have to understand about artists, and I'm sure you have this in your field, we're very egotistical.
Yeah. It's a massive part of self-expression, isn't it?
Yeah, and I don't mean that in a slanderous way towards people who want that fame. I mean we're egotistical in the sense that we create for others to enjoy. So that verification comes back when other people respect what it is you create. Because I don't just DJ, I produce as well. I was going to say that's the other thing. I'd like to be at a point where I'm known for production as much as DJing, for the same level. But when I say ego, it's like that verification does come from what I make and what I put out there. I need to get something back from people. Yeah. I still do it for myself, but that verification needs to come back from the people that enjoy what you do.
Yeah. So if you, for example, created a mix or made a beat, right?
Yeah.
That you totally and utterly fucking loved, right?
Yeah.
You've gone back, you've gone over it, you've edited it, and it's finally ready to go out to the world. You put it out to the world, but people don't like it. Are you going to feel a way about that?
Yeah, definitely.
So you're not just making it art for yourself, you're making it for your fan base or
no,
growing
because
your fan
I'm never
base.
going to change what I do to please. I'm never going to do something I don't like just because I know that it will please other people.
Yeah. Have you always been like that attitude right there?
Yeah, always.
Seriously?
Yeah.
So you've always known that you wanted a DJ?
DJ and produce, yeah. To be honest, it was
how did it all start,
production first. All right, so basically...
How old are you, if you don't mind me asking, bro?
How old am I now?
Yeah, can I guess?
Go on, guess.
31.
I got a couple years on that.
You got a couple years on 31?
Yeah.
33.
Couple years more.
Let's stop. Carry on.
No, 35. Just
okay.
35,
Well, you look good for 35, bro. And it's crazy. Me and Aaron were talking as well. Like we meet a lot of creatives. Like he was just talking about Fats, and Kish, and all them guys. And like, if you don't know their age, the energy you get from them is not. It does not match what you think their age is.
Hip hop music keeps you young.
It's the music that keeps you feeling like that.
Because you see Kish and them lot. Yeah. It's funny because in the scene I'm in, I've got like a lot of the Piff Gang lot or whatever around me, and they'll joke like, Uncle Snips, like Snips is the older, Snips is Godfather or whatever, which, it does a little bit. I respect it. It's love because a lot of them I knew from when they were quite young. But when you're talking about Kish and them lot, Kish and Shorty Blitz and them, they were the people that I looked up to as my elders when I was coming up. Yeah. So, and it's funny because now someone like Budgie, who is now 27, he's old to that new crowd. Like he's the old wise producer. Budgie I knew from when he was 15. Budgie was a kid. Like Budgie was my little younger, So it's mad how quickly that oldest to youngest thing turns around, and then suddenly you go from being this is my little younger Snips to this is Uncle Snips. It's like it happens quickly, bro. And Kish and them lot will tell you the same thing, man.
Thanks for the warning, bro. Yeah, I know. I mean, look, the In-Live team are a lot younger than me, and the people that watch and that are in tune with what we're doing with individualism and what I'm doing as a presenter are a lot younger, I guess. So the people that are my age that aren't creative have gone off and done the adult thing and aren't really necessarily that interested in what we're doing.
Exactly the same with always, me. So when I speak to my friends and I'm like, why don't you not come out to Livin Proof? They're like, that's too many kids. It's not for us. I'm like, but if I put on a night that is solely for 90s hip hop, for Mike, they're not gonna come out. They won't come. So I have to, like my audience is definitely probably on average 10 years or more younger than me.
Yeah.
But I'm cool with that. Like, that's fine.
Makes you feel younger as well, right?
Yeah.
You're in it, just beg it for a little while.
Yeah, exactly.
I've been doing it all my life.
I mean, it means that now I'm in a relationship. I definitely don't look at girls when I go out because I'll go to prison for looking at most of the girls that come to my parties. That's what she does to you, So, you know, had to draw a line under that.
So, but you learned that the hard way, I take it.
Yeah.
You went to prison a couple times.
2 years statutory.
2 years.
No, I'm joking.
You're not.
Don't put that in.
It's uncensored, baby.
Well, this was leading up to a question that you asked me.
Yeah, no, the question was, how did it all start?
Right. Yeah. Okay. So, I went to high school for a few years in Australia.
High school? Are you a Yankee?
No, but this makes sense. I went to high school in Australia. Australia is high school. So I was living out there. I was about 16 years old, and I was going to school out there. And I tell a lie. I left school out there when I was about 9 months.
So you dropped out?
Yeah, I dropped out of school. So I was a dropout. I was a high school dropout. Never did any education. And I got a job in Sydney in a pawn shop.
In a pawn shop?
That opens up all kinds of jokes.
Hey, hello.
So
now, wait a minute. How old are you?
When I say pawn shop, I mean PAWN shop.
Damn.
Yeah, I know. That just gave the interviewer a bit of a nosedive.
Yeah, Semi's gone.
It started to look exciting for a minute. But I got a job in a pawn shop dealing with secondhand equipment, like music equipment and shit. And I always loved hip hop. I always wanted to produce. I never really cared about being a DJ. I wanted to make records. But then at the time, all the people whose records I loved, DJ Premier, Pete Rock, Marley Marl or whatever, they were all DJs. So I was like, I have to be a DJ if I want to be a producer, otherwise it doesn't make sense. I didn't know why. In my head, I just knew that they were all DJs and they produced. I had to do both. So the first thing I bought, somebody pawned a little Roland sampler. Yeah. And when I tell you, like, they pawned it for like 80 quid.
So just walked in the shop and you saw it?
I just hoped that they never came back for it. And then they never came back for it. So I just took it.
How long? In an hour, yeah?
Literally, we had to let it go through the channels of you know, but I just took it. It never came back for it. I was like, took it. So when I tell you
stole it?
Yeah, pretty much. I'm in another country now, so they're never gonna lock me up for that. So I took it, and at the time, my dad and my mum, they had a lot of records. My dad was really into rock, like prog rock and you know, shit like Led Zeppelin, Yes, you know, Bad Company. My mum was into soul and reggae. So the record collection in my house was massively, you know, like a wide range of music. So I started to understand hip hop production because my dad would come into my room when I was listening to music and be like, they ripped that off of this, they ripped that, and they'd show me samples of, you know. So I was like, shit, I'm gonna dig through my parents' record collection and I'm gonna start making my own beats. So I got this sampler and it had like 8 seconds of memory. It was a piece of shit, like a proper piece of shit. It had like 8 seconds of memory on it. So I would take a sample of something, so it was sped up to 45, on the record player, and then slow it down in the sampler. Which is the average BPM for? No, it's like on the record players you have two speeds. You have
so it's not
33
BPM
and 45. No, it's not BPM.
Okay.
Basically 45 is for the smaller records. You have to spin it faster. So if you speed up a 33, it sounds like Chipmunks.
Okay.
So I'd speed it up and then slow it down because that would save my sample time. So it was a piece of shit. So I basically just take a loop and find a drum loop, make sure that they were matched at the same tempo, hit the buttons at the same time, and then they'd play together. And that was me making beats. I used to just put them on tapes.
And this was at age?
Like 15, 16.
Sick.
Yeah.
So no one taught you how to do it. It was all trial and error. You were just fucking around, basically.
Pretty much, until I came back to London when I was like 17, 18 maybe. And
so you're doing 2 years of not studying, working part-time in this pawn shop still.
Yeah, saved up the money and came back here.
Okay. And then this time you were just making beats.
Making beats, and DJing a little bit because I started to collect records as I was making beats.
So you self-taught yourself to DJ?
Yeah, pretty much.
What did you start with?
I had one friend in Sydney who had turntables, so I used to go and practice with his. I used to buy records, take my records to his, because he used to DJ house music. So I used to take my hip hop records to his and practice on his decks. Yeah. And I think it was when I was about 18, I managed to buy my own pair. I saved up for
This is all vinyls back then as well?
Yeah, all vinyl, nothing but vinyl. And then I think maybe a year or so later, my dad's great aunt passed away and left him a little bit of money. It was like fuck all, to be honest. She left like 5 or 6 grand or something in her will. But he basically gave that to me and my sister. So it was for me at that point. It was either I buy a car, like a cheap piece of shit car, a couple grand, or I buy an MPC and start taking production seriously. And I bought an MPC. So at that point, I was kind of living in London. I had an MPC, I had my 2 turntables. I was just starting to get little shit DJ gigs for like 50 quid for like a 7-hour set or whatever. And then just, collecting records and making beats.
Sick. So where was that, in East London when you started DJing?
Nah, when I first moved to London, I lived in Harlesden. Because my family have a business on Edgware Road.
Okay.
So I was living with my cousin. Most of my family are based around like northwest London. So I got cousins in like St John's Woods, Kilburn, Cricklewoods, Edgware Road. So I was staying there, and then I went back to college in Westminster College, just off Edgware Road as well.
So you did go back to education then?
Yeah, I went back and I did. You could barely call it education. I did a City and Guilds in sound engineering, and I basically was just going to college with a bunch of degenerates who wanted to make grime beats.
Did they end up making? Is there anyone that we know today?
I was like, a couple people still actually. I don't know if you heard of Iron Braids. He hosts Livin Proof sometimes.
Okay, I personally haven't. No, I'm old school, man.
He's done a couple records with a couple underground US artists. He went to my college. Reveal, battle rapper Reveal.
So all these cats had just gone to this place to learn how to
it's one of those things. See with sound engineering, if you don't understand it, you basically think what sound engineering is sitting in a room and making beats on Logic. It's obviously not. There's a lot of theory and science to understanding sound, and that's only one, like understanding music software is like a very small part of sound engineering. But when you're young, it's just like, I get to sit in a room in the studio and make beats. So my whole course was just like degenerates from like Mozart Estate and Stonebridge and whatever, just coming down trying to make grime music.
Real talk. But the good thing about that though, and correct me if I'm wrong, is that these people are here. If there's one thing they want to do, it's that. So they're passionate about learning about
definitely,
it, right?
definitely. And I met like my career and how I've moved forward is down to me doing that course. A lot of it and people I met in that course.
Okay, so you feel going back to get the basics of education in your field is necessary?
No, because I'll be honest. What I learned in that course means nothing. Still, people that I met in that course.
Okay, it was the connections you made.
Yeah. Mainly, I remember the first day I started. I noticed Reveal, who I don't know if you were into like battle rap and UK rap at the time. He was a battle rapper from 14 years old. He battled Chester P. I swear he battled like Shabam Sadiq, something like. He was sick, and I was like, "Right, that's Reveal. He's doing the course." And I remember him grilling me, and like me and him are still friends to this day, and we'll always talk about this and we'll laugh about it. I remember him grilling me because I had Averex on, and later on he was like, "Yeah, bro, I was watching you, the only man in there with Averex." So I was like, "Who's this guy? What's he on? What's he on?" So we got talking. I remember those days as well, man. And we got talking. I ended up going to his yard because he lived literally across.
So this is the same day you met him?
No, this was, but within like a week or so. Okay. Starting the course. And I remember playing in beats, and he was in a group at the time called Poisonous Poets, which featured Doc Brown, Tony D, who's like champ battler at Don't Flop now, and a guy called Therapist. Later, Low Key and Styler joined as well, but that was like a year or two later. So they kind of brought me in as like an in-house producer and DJ for the group, and they were signed to BMG at the time. So I kind of opened up into the industry. Through that channel.
Okay, see. So when you going back to these first DJ gigs, right? That £50 for like 25 hours, no food, no water, those ones. Did you go out and actively seek those? Did you say, "Hey, I'm a DJ, can I spin here?" How did you get those first gigs?
Okay, so that happened. That happened separately from doing the. One of the first job I got when I came back to London before I went to college. I was working at Car Farm Warehouse in the head office. And again, it was full of just West London degenerates. like it was a call center. So they just like, it was the place you went to work if you had no other skills. So it was literally like, bruv, it was mad. Like the social aspect of working in that head office was ridiculous.
It must have been fun though, bro.
Bruv, it was the best job I've ever had. I got fired eventually.
Of course. It was the best job. I've never not been sacked.
Same. Either I've been sacked from every job, or I've stood up and caused a scene, told everyone to fuck themselves and walked out. Real talk. Literally every job I've ever had. But that one, I lasted for about 18 months. But I went. One of the guys I worked with. Like,
that's a year and a bit, bro.
So it was a long time. It was because it was so much fun. I managed for it to last. But my boy Noble that I worked with, him and his younger brothers started up this little promotion company called Made in London.
Yeah.
So they were trying to
put
do
on events.
Yeah. So they were trying to do parties. And I remember at the time I lived in this 5-bedroom house, like this shithole house in Hamwell, near Boston Manor. And again, when I moved in, I just rented a room. It was like, you know, one of them like really old rundown houses where the landlord would just rent each room out separately.
Yeah.
So as I moved in and people started moving out, I started moving in people, friends of mine from work.
Yeah,
so we just had this party house where everyone would go, they'd smoke after work or whatever.
Yeah.
And I remember we threw a big house party. And Noble came down, the guy that I was working with, and he MC'd for me. And then he saw what I could do DJ-wise, and he's like, no, you're sick. We need to start doing stuff. So he started locking in like little gigs for me here and there. And again, it was like, you know, there was no money in it really. And then from that, it started to open up a little bit, and I started to get a couple West End gigs, doing warm-ups for people. I met a few people, like just through doing these parties, and it kind of like just opened
organically
up from there.
progressed.
But this is a long time ago, bro. This is like getting on for 15 years ago.
So how long have you been spinning and producing for now? 20 plus?
Getting on for 20, yeah. Getting on for 20 years.
And that's totally full time, other than the little car warehouses.
I reckon it's been just over 10 years since I didn't have to do a day job.
Okay.
So
is that because you were getting enough money from it, or just because you just could not take that other shit anymore?
A little bit of both. Because when I first gave up the idea of having a day job, like I was living on a bread line, like literally on the bread line, like, you know, getting night buses home with crates of records and shit like that. Like, you know, I'd say the last 5 years I've been in a position where I'm definitely not wealthy, but I'm comfortable. Like, you know,
you're making a living off your craft.
I mean, I can't buy a house in London, but I can buy all the trainers that I want to buy when they come out.
Which is so much more important than a house.
I can get a cab home after a gig. You know, I can eat right.
You
know, shit like that. You know,
and you've been like that for 5 years.
Yeah, about 5 years now. Yeah.
Okay, so are you content where you are now? I know you talked about you want to be a little bit bigger internationally. Are you, if that is the case, which it is, right?
The thing is, yeah.
Have you got a plan to make that happen, or are you just organically rolling through life, spinning rhythms?
I kind of want to diversify what I'm doing as well. I mean, I know I mentioned to you off camera, I'm going back to study at SAE in January. I want to move more into the production and more into like actually recording like musicians and like incorporating that into my music. So doing studio sessions. So I don't want to be Westwood, but I don't want to be a 58-year-old DJ calling people doggy. Like, it's just like, I don't want to be that guy. You know, I really don't want to be that guy. You know, if at 50 I can still get gigs where I come out and play old school music to like an older crowd, I'm down. But I don't want to be in these clubs at 50 playing like, bitch, you guessed it, to like a bunch of kids. Like, I already don't really want to be that guy, man.
All right, so you've seen that there's a cutoff point for that.
Yeah, definitely.
And when is it? When do you plan to make the transition?
See, this is the thing.
Have you had enough, bruv, of DJing?
No, I haven't had enough. I love DJing. I do love DJing. I'm getting to the point where I'm becoming more picky about where I want to DJ. Yeah. I don't want to take every gig. I want to take gigs where I'm playing to a crowd that have a little bit of a knowledge of music. Yeah. I'm so tired of going into clubs and them just wanting to hear the same 10 trap records in a row, you know. And if you go
back, do you even take those requests now?
I don't take requests at all, to be honest. But why? Just because my thing is this on requests, man. It's like my job is to know what 500 people, or however big the venue is, 500 people want to hear collectively. Yeah. As a whole. Yeah. So your opinion, one person's opinion, means nothing. Okay. To what I believe is going to work for a collective of 500 people.
And you believe when you're in a venue, you can sense what they want.
Yeah, of course. That's part of, you have to be able to do that as a DJ. You have to know what records are going to work as a collective. Because not everybody's going to want to hear the same shit. Yeah. You know? Yeah. So you have to be able to maintain a vibe where everyone's kept happy, but you don't alienate anybody, and you keep, you know, an overall vibe.
Is this why you built, sorry to cut you, is this why you built Livin Proof? Because it's your own world and you can control it?
Yeah, we built Livin Proof by accident. I'm not going to lie to you.
Some of the best things happen by accident, bro.
Yeah,
How did it kick off?
Basically, again, me and Doc Brown had a birthday party 7 years ago at Marketplace. Yeah. It was Doc's 30th. Sorry to bait your age up there, Doc. Doc's 30th for my 28th birthday. Yeah. And so we had a party at Marketplace. I tell her like we for a couple of months beforehand we'd been doing a Sunday at Marketplace.
Yeah.
Which
so you two had a regular night there.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. Well, no, me and Doc didn't. Basically, all right. Let me start from the beginning. My friend, who is now my housemate, Craig, he was a manager at Marketplace and has been for years.
Who is still the manager of Marketplace?
Still the manager of Marketplace. Yeah. So he offered us a Sunday night, because nothing went on Sunday night, to do a night, and we started up something called Wolfgang. Fuck knows why we called it Wolfgang. It was Inca, one of the guys we played with, just thought it was a cool name. So it was there was about 8 of us. It was me, Inca, Magdi, the 3 other guys I run Livin Proof with now, Bruce Wayne,
you lot some OGs, man.
Finian, who's now a house DJ and producer who's doing quite well, but he used to be part of Ill Commotion that was run by Rags and Khalil, who now run Livin Proof with me. So there's like 8 of us. We used to split £100
between 8 men.
Between 8 of us. That's how Livin Proof started. It was Wolfgang, and then because me and Doc had a birthday coming up, Craig was like, "Oh, you know, I can give you a Saturday for your birthday." So we threw. Actually, it was another friend of ours as well, a guy called Lejeune, who was Doc's boy. So we did a joint birthday party, and it was pandemonium. Like, it was huge. So Craig was like, "Do you know what? Dead to Sundays, come and do a monthly Saturday."
Yeah. So this is your first Sunday that you done that smashed it up.
No, it was the first Saturday when me and Doc did a.
Okay,
the Sunday was dead.
Yeah. Okay.
The Sunday was literally me, Magdi, and T Magic arguing about hip hop.
T Magic, as in T Magic, the artist.
Yeah.
What was he doing?
He just used to come down all the time.
He should just roll down. He didn't used to spin or anything.
Because you know what it was? This happened right after Dill Real and Slamming Kicks closed down.
Okay.
So we just used to sit around arguing about hip hop, eating burgers.
Yeah.
That's what Sunday was.
Yeah,
we were the only people that, and Marcus. I don't know if you know Marcus. Marcus used to come down as well.
Maybe by face.
Yeah. So yeah, it was like, that was it. And then the Saturday was really big for the birthday. So we started doing more nights. And then it just accidentally became huge. And, you know, by 8 o'clock when the doors would open, there'd be 300 people outside trying to get in.
When was this?
Like 2 or 3 months after doing our first one.
Which was roughly year-wise?
2000 and, like early 2008.
Sick.
Yeah.
Okay.
So it was just, it was madness. It was madness. Like, people would be up on tables in there. You wouldn't be able to move. People were like trying to pay staff members to like sneak in the back because they didn't want to queue.
Did you take some pay for that?
I never did, but
but you got some of the money that they took, surely, bro. After £100 between 8 men.
Even to that point when we were doing that, because we weren't charging on the door.
Yeah. So you were taking bar at the time?
No, we just got a flat rate. We were splitting £500 between the 4 of us, because at that point different people had moved on and weren't part of the night anymore, so it kind of whittled down to just the 4 of us. We were still only taking £500 between 4 of us.
Okay.
And then what happened was James Reuben, who was now works for the agency in New York, he did a night called What's Good on another Saturday at Marketplace. So similar kind of lineup, like similar crowd, like a lot of people didn't really know the difference between the nights. It was just they went Marketplace and they got a similar thing. So when Marketplace, there was new owners that took over, and there was a little bit of controversy over the how can I put this, the colourful crowd that we brought. As that happens in central London. Livin Proof at Marketplace and What's Good was no longer.
How long were they there for?
This happened in early 2010, I want to say, because 2009 I was away. I was in New York for that year. So 2010 that happened. So we moved to a new venue in East London called Camp.
Yeah.
Funny story, once we did a typo where we accidentally called Livin Proof Livin Puff at Camp. Which was quite funny.
Boom shaka, get that pink pound, baby.
Yeah. But,
did they all come down?
No. We clocked it was a typo pretty early, but yeah.
So you didn't print it and put it out?
It doesn't get...
That would have been beautiful, bro.
Doesn't get more misleading than that.
For a hip-hop event.
So yeah, we did a night together with What's Good. Yeah. We did it as What's Good and Livin Proof at Camp. We just thought, let's join forces and do it. Shortly in, like literally maybe 2 or 3 parties in, James was like, I don't want to do parties anymore. He was moving up like faster and faster at the agency group, so that was taking up all his time. So he stepped out and we just kept it as Livin Proof at Camp. So then we'd suddenly gone from this like little Marketplace bar to 400 people every month.
Yeah.
charging on the door.
Was it called Livin Proof at this time?
Yeah, it's always been called Livin Proof.
Cool.
Yeah, and then we started to make some proper money, and it just kept getting bigger. Then like we got offered to do a night at Concrete as well.
Yeah.
So we started alternating between Concrete.
Sick.
And
why do you think it growed so rapidly?
Because
I've got my reservations as to why I reckon.
I feel like because it was genuine, man. Like the whole reason we started doing it was because we all played in West End clubs and we all played shit music that we didn't like. So we wanted to come and play somewhere where we got to play what we liked.
So you create your own.
Exactly. And we were getting told by people, don't, hip hop's dead, man. Why don't you do a dubstep night? Why don't you do a trendy electronic? Why don't you? I remember at some point it was Moonbaton. Why don't you do a Moonbaton night? It's like, fuck off, man. I don't care about that music. I'm a hip hop DJ. I care about hip hop. I want to do a hip hop night.
Yeah.
And we just stuck to our guns.
Yeah.
And, it's authentic. It's like, it's run by 4 people that know their hip hop.
Yeah.
It's not run by four models who decided they want to become DJs last week and, their hip hop knowledge goes back as far as Dipset. It's run by people that can play everything from Big Daddy Kane to Dilla to T.I. to Young Thug or whatever. Like we really know this music and the culture. We like inside out. We've grown up through it. I've been listening to hip hop music for about 25 years. So, I feel like, there's a couple of people that have that same, like Spin Doctor definitely has that same thing. The difference between us and Spin Doctor is Spin Doctor hasn't necessarily embraced the newer sound, and that's not a disrespect to him. I think that's an intentional thing for him. He has his crowd have kind of gotten older with him, whereas we've got older and our crowd has stayed younger. If that makes sense.
So do you change your output for your crowd, which
No,
is forever getting younger?
It's forever getting younger because younger people go out more than older people do. But we definitely, I don't play new music because I'm trying to keep a new crowd. I play new music because I'm interested in new music.
So you only ever play what you actually like to play?
Yeah. Like I keep up with the new stuff because I like the new stuff. And I don't play all of it. I got asked to play that song the other day that I'm in love with the cocoa. I'm like, I'm not playing that shit. It's fucking retarded. It's like moronic music. Like, go somewhere else if you want to hear that shit.
So if someone hired you, say for a corporate gig, big P, big money, and they asked you to play a whole heap of hot shit that you didn't like,
bro, everyone's got their price. Everyone's got their price. A one-off gig where no one knows it's me and they don't know, like, the money's right, so I might take that.
Debatable,
Yeah, and the thing is, now we all play off Serato where you can download a playlist in 5 minutes.
Yeah.
It's a lot easier to do that. Back in the day, it's like I played the records that I owned.
Yeah.
So, you couldn't call me up and say, I need a DJ who's going to play house. I don't have house. I can go.
You don't play house. It's just straight hip hop.
I play a little bit of like old school house now and again. Like I like other music. I play soul and funk and red groove and reggae, R&B, a little bit of house, a little bit of like old school garage. But yeah, primarily I'm a hip hop DJ.
Yeah.
But
was there ever a point, bro? Because you've been on a journey for ages doing your own thing and it's all been music, producing and DJing. Was there ever a point you said, you know what, fuck this. I can't make a living out of this. I need to quit. Did you ever go through like a dark period?
Yeah, definitely.
Loads?
I think everybody
Anyone in
does.
particular?
When I went to New York, and I went out to New York and I tried to really make it happen over there for a year.
As a DJ?
As a DJ and a producer. And I did some good things over there. And like I kept myself afloat off of music over there. But when it didn't work how I expected it to work, because obviously you think, just go to America and become huge, and it's obviously not that easy. And I came back to England, I was really disheartened, not because I didn't think I could make a living, but because I felt like what I wanted to achieve was not possible in this country.
Which was
like international recognition as a hip hop producer. Since then, times have changed, the internet has changed things a lot, and your actual location as a producer means fuck all anymore. So yeah, it's not quite the same now as it was then. But I definitely was at a point then where I was like, do I even want to do this anymore? Like, and it's also, do you know what it is? It's relationships as well, man. Women will make you change your fucking mind if you do something creative.
Yeah.
Women will start to make you feel like if you don't have a secure income,
Yeah.
But then you got to realize that the same girl that will say that to you is the same girl that suddenly you get a 50 grand publishing deal and you buy her a handbag and everything's fine.
Yeah.
So I've learned to kind of steer away from girls who have issues with my career choice.
Okay.
Luckily, my girl now, she doesn't.
So your current girlfriend is a fellow creative?
No, not at all.
Understands the creative hustle?
No, not at all.
So how
Not
the
at all.
fuck is that working then?
Honestly,
Yeah.
I think she just understands me,
Okay.
which is the important
Yeah.
thing. So, but no, she's her educational background is microbiology,
Yeah.
and she's currently doing a master's in psychology and works in social care.
Yeah.
So yeah, like couldn't be further from. I mean, she loves music. She plays piano. She's like, she's got a definite like musical soul.
Yeah.
but-
Sometimes that's probably why it works, man. Two people
Quite
from
possibly.
totally different hemispheres, if you
Yeah.
call it that, and that's kind of why.
But then having said that, my previous girlfriend was an actress, and
Yeah.
she, so different
Yeah.
creative worlds, but she
Yeah.
got it as well.
Yeah.
We never
Yeah.
had issue with.
Yeah.
So I mean, I think it can go either way. It's person specific, man. If a person
that's a very
understands you,
relative topic, innit? Yeah.
a person understands you, she's going to understand why you do what you do,
Yeah.
and trust that what you're doing is for a greater benefit.
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah.
So
We'll talk, man. So with that dark period, how did you get through that?
you just got to remind yourself, like, all right, see before when you just asked me, are you where you want to be?
Yeah.
The answer is always going to be no. I want to
Okay.
be further.
Yeah.
But if you'd have
And
asked,
that will be your answer till you die.
this is
Because
the thing. This is
because
what
we're
you,
always ambitious.
exactly,
We want to.
exactly. So now what you got to do is go back to me as a 15-year-old and say, if you got here where you are now, would you be happy? And the answer would be yeah.
Yeah.
I've exceeded what I thought I was able to achieve
That's
at 15.
real talk.
So
have I.
for me, it's like I'm always going to strive to do more, but if I don't ever do more, I will look at my journey as successful.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So
yeah, it's a tough one to answer.
real talk, man. Why do you think you've managed to do a lot more than you initially thought you were capable of?
Because I didn't stop doing it. Like most people that fail, they don't fail, they just stop. They get to a point where they're like, I'm not going to do this anymore, it's too long. Like, I'll just go get a normal job. Or I've got someone pregnant, I need to go and work in a bank and pay the mortgage, Actually once, I brought up Doc Brown a few times in this interview, but I remember him saying to me once, when he's got 2 kids and he's married, but I remember when his wife was pregnant with his first child, and he was like, I came to a crossroads where it was like, do I need to give up all this creative shit? Because he was at a point where he was kind of still rapping, but like just moving into acting a little bit, and he wasn't making a lot of money. Like obviously now he's quite successful, but at the time it was like all up in the air. And he was like, got to this crossroads where it was like, do I pack this in and go and get a steady job and provide for my family, or do I keep doing this but put everything into it
even harder
and go as hard as I can to make it happen? And where he's at in his career right now is definitely testament to the latter being
The focus.
And for me, I would always take that option as well.
Always. All day long. That's how I am.
I feel like and that is a difference between successful creative people and
or successful people in general, right?
Yeah.
Have you got to that super ham level yet, do you reckon?
No.
Why?
Because I'm inherently lazy.
It's a beautiful answer, bro.
But it's true.
Because
Like,
I think I am innately a lazy person as well. And so every day when I get up, I'm fighting the laziness.
Yeah.
I am programmed by the universe to procrastinate.
Yeah, bruv. Listen,
I'm the best.
I literally.
I've written a song about it. It's coming out soon.
I need to hear that. I need to hear that.
I don't think you'll spin it though.
I know. I will.
It's a ragga thing.
Yeah.
Yeah, bro.
Yeah, I need to hear that.
In Christian resident household, man. But yeah, no, carry on.
Well, my thing is this: is that I wake up at the beginning of the month and I'll be like, right, I will pay rent, X amount of money.
Yeah.
Jordan Brand a retro in something I want, X amount of money.
Funny how that's second on your priority list,
It cost me this amount to eat.
Yeah. So
Supreme
Jordan's
got
come
something
before
dropping
food.
with North Face. Got to pick that up, and I got to put 100 quid away for Eurostar fare because I need to go to Paris this month.
Yeah.
Right, add that up.
Yeah.
$2,000.
Yeah.
Look at my gigs. Okay, I've got $2,000 worth of gigs. Right, I don't need to do fuck all this month. I'm gonna chill.
That's how it is.
That's how, and it's really bad because I
Yeah.
shouldn't be like that.
Because you're in a comfort zone right now.
Yeah.
So you're comfortable, which is a bad thing.
Yeah,
right?
it's really bad because I'll never buy a house being like this.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay, so are you planning on upping the urgency? If so,
Yes,
how?
This is why I'm going back to study next year.
Yeah.
I'm going back to study an audio production degree, and I'm looking to. I want a job, bruv, if I'm honest. Like,
Really?
But I want a job
within your realm.
Yeah, exactly. I want to, and I don't want to work for someone forever. I want a job that has the potential for me to move up and then work for myself again. But yeah, I want to do more than just DJ and make beats in my house and try and work with rappers. I fucking hate rappers, bro. I don't want to work with rappers anymore. Hate them. Like, I'm sick to death of rappers. They're the worst. I love hip hop. I hate rappers. They're the worst people in the world to work with.
Somehow that sounds contradictory. Break it down.
Problem with singing
you
and
hate
rapping,
certain rappers. Let's get specific.
Most rappers.
Without naming them. Really?
Yeah, most rappers.
So people that have found their calling in rap, you dislike by default.
Yeah, unless they prove otherwise. I got great friends who are rappers. Mega from SAS, one of my best friends. Love the guy to death.
Yeah.
But I love him in spite of being a rapper.
Okay.
you know what I mean? So no, I generally find rappers are the most egotistical and self-important people. If you look at hip hop as a genre,
but that's what hip hop's
it's
about.
Yeah, exactly. It's flamboyant. But the problem now is, all right. See, with singing, if I just sung right now to you, you could tell whether or not I had any talent as a singer. Yeah. If I don't have that talent, it's obvious. I can't go and record a record. Rapping now, you can fool people into believing you're a rapper. So anyone can be a rapper now.
Like that, you know?
Anybody can be a rapper.
Yeah.
Like literally, come on. I can pull out the hottest records out right now in the charts, and I guarantee me or you could right now sit down and write those lyrics better than that person could have.
Yeah.
Like, you shouldn't be able to do that.
Yeah.
If someone is like, your skill as a non-rapper shouldn't exceed that as someone whose actual career is a rapper. So people have a self-importance that is like beyond belief, and for me it shines through in this egotistical personality that they all seem to carry on with them. So yeah, I'm kind of, I don't like working with rappers, man. I want to get to a point where my other love is soul music. I want to get to a point where I'm in the studio recording an orchestra and actually make some Curtis Mayfield-esque soul music, and learn the stuff. Yeah, that's where I'm heading. That's where I want to go.
Okay, so you're doing more of that stuff now than hip hop, and this has this come with age? This maturity and appreciation,
and it's come with the
sonic sounds,
the deterioration of hip hop also.
Seriously?
Yeah, I mean hip hop. I mean, I know I sound like an old guy saying this, and like I'm sure that you think that hip hop is a golden age right now, but to me it's not, man. Like, hip hop as what it always was is not the same as what it is now. Yeah, and there are still great artists. I do pay attention to a lot of the new artists, but for the most part, like, I want to be a part of music where the biggest song out is like baking soda. I got baking soda. Like, it's fucking ridiculous, bruv. Like I'm a 35-year-old grown man. Like, and the sad thing is, these records are made by other 35-year-old grown men.
Yeah,
that's
that
what
can
kills
see
me.
dollar signs.
Yeah,
Yeah.
But like, without getting too into a political discussion, like, I think there are powers that be have infiltrated hip hop very very well, and they are helping to push a very negative image of Black America. They are helping to reinforce stereotypes of young black men in America, but unfortunately have somehow been very clever at then marketing that to young black men in America as being the trendsetters of the music, and therefore just help to self-perpetuate like a really, really bad negative image. Yeah.
So you don't necessarily have much respect for the music industry.
I have no respect.
None. 0%. Zero.
No. Yeah, none
so
for it.
your thing is just making music.
Yep.
And spinning.
I don't want to,
because
like there's a couple of natural progressions for DJs and like people in my world. The natural quite often is an A&R. Go and work for a label, help develop talent. Yeah.
You never done that? You never worked in a label?
I couldn't, because I couldn't work alongside
shit you didn't
business-minded people who have no fucking understanding of musical culture. Yeah. And unfortunately, that is the majority of people working within these labels. They have no understanding of the music or the culture at all. Yeah. They understand business. Yeah. And that's great. I understand it's a music business, but I don't, and I understand that part of the music business has to exist in order for the music to be sold and consumed, but I want no parts of that side of it. I want parts of the creative side of it.
Yeah.
I don't want to have to deal with these fucking idiots telling me what the next hot thing is, and having never been to a, you don't tell me what the biggest thing in hip hop is about to be if you've never even been to a hip hop club, or you've never, gone and bought a hip hop album. Like, don't tell me what's going to be big, because your opinion means nothing, And it's not just the labels in the industry; it's the publications that support that as well, Like right now, you look at it's things like Vice and Noisy that dictate what's popular in hip hop. Why is some awkward 20-something-year-old boy from the counties sitting in an office dictating what's popular in hip hop when he's probably never had a person of color around to his house and his parents vote Tory? Like, why are these the people that seem to somehow have?
Is he not just reporting on the majority vote, what he sees? Like,
no,
what has the
I think
biggest
they're
hits,
part of
what
the
everyone's
same.
talking about?
They're part of the same infrastructure that helps tell the majority what they're supposed to like, as opposed to being like I have no problem with the blogs who like report what's hot. Yeah. If you're just a blog and you're like, these are the new records out this week, this is what's hot, that's fine. You are reporting on the majority vote. But when you're part of an infrastructure and a system that helps manipulate the majority is stupid. Like in anything in life, the majority of people are stupid and easily manipulated, which is why, I don't want to offend anybody in particular, so I'll just use a very broad term, which is why religion is so popular, because people like to
be part of a tribe,
be told what to think, and I'm not knocking a spiritual belief, but
people want
it's been proven time and time again that you can manipulate a mass of people very, very easily, and religion is a good example of where that's worked. And I think music and culture is quite often sold to people in a similar way that religion is. Like it's like a gang mentality. Right? You have to be a part of this. If the other people don't get you, they don't understand you. You need to be part of this. And if you're part of helping manipulate people into that for financial gain, I can't co-sign you and think that you're an asset to the culture.
Yeah. Have you always been this rebellious?
Yeah.
You like this as a child?
Yeah, definitely.
Are you an only child?
No. Okay. No. I got a younger sister that I grew up with, and I've got an older sister. We got different mums, but we didn't grow up together. But so I'm in the middle essentially.
Yeah, and you've always kind of just done what you wanted to do. Did anyone champion that idea?
Yeah, my parents.
Go
luckily,
off and do your own thing.
Luckily, my parents.
They did do that.
My parents used to say to me, like, I remember getting in trouble at school because I always used to ask why. And I remember
used to get in trouble for asking why.
Yeah, like why are you making us do this? Why are we learning this? Like, I used to be told it was disruptive. And I remember they brought my mum and dad up to the school. My mum and dad were like, that's good. Like, my son's supposed to ask why.
Yeah, curiosity.
Yeah, he's supposed to know why you're teaching him, what it means, what it's for.
God, what school, bro?
Yeah, but my school was terrible.
Where was it? In the end? East?
No. This is when I was in Australia.
Oh, I see back then. Yeah.
No, I was lucky because I grew up in Bristol. Yeah. The school I went to in Bristol was actually amazing. And they did a documentary about it. The documentary about my school. It was one of the first truly integrated schools in
culture
Bristol.
Wise.
Yeah.
Ethnicity wise.
Yeah. Because obviously, I mean, for those that don't know, Bristol has a massive Caribbean population, and I grew up in an area called St Paul's, which was basically like Bristol's Brixton or Handsworth or whatever. Yeah. So my mum used to teach at the school as well. There's actually, if you Google Cabot School documentary, you'll see me there.
Spell
it's
Cabot?
like C-A-B-O-T.
C-A-B-O-T?
Yeah.
Cabot.
Yeah.
Okay.
You'll see my mum there.
Really?
And you'll see me as a little kid as well in the school. Yeah.
Back in the day, they showed the dog.
Yeah. But yeah, it's mad. Like, my school was like literally boundary pushing for, like, imagine in the 80s, it was a school that had a whole prayer room for Muslims. That shit didn't in the 80s. Like, for young children.
So you've
like,
come from that surrounding of people kind of doing what they want to do.
Yeah, completely.
Breaking the moles and whatnot.
And luckily, my parents are hippies.
Yeah.
So, my dad left school at 15. My dad had his first child when he was 16. So he was like, in that time you moved out, you got a job. My dad went and worked in a factory to, put food on the table for his first daughter. But now my dad is a computer programmer and he trains university graduates how to use software. So it's like my dad's always been a big believer in like, if you're smart and you're driven and you're inquisitive and you want to learn, you'll be all right. Like you don't necessarily need to do it the way that you're told to do it. You can do it in your own way, because if you're smart enough and you're driven enough, you'll figure out the route. Might take longer, but you'll still probably learn more on that longer route than you would have by doing it in a way that you don't see as necessarily beneficial. If that makes sense.
Yeah. Mate, sick. I'm gonna end it on that note, bruv. We've been speaking for like 50 minutes.
All good, man.
But that makes a lot of sense, bro. If I can help with anything as you progress, I'm here, and I'll offer that help on behalf of Aaron
bro.
as well.
That's appreciated.
If you ever need anything, bro. Thanks for your time, brother.
Nah, all good, man. Thank you for having me down.
One love, bro.
Bruv.
Safe. Nice one.
Oh shit, there was one thing I wanted to add in there.
Go, bruv. It's still recording.
Because you know what? Because we were talking about before the camera came up about that Hip Hop Tribes video I did.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, I was gonna explain.
Yeah, for people that don't know what it is, check it out. What is it on YouTube?
It's literally, if you just put DJ Snips Hip Hop Tribes. It was something I did with the Jump Off, because I do a little bit of presenting work and debate stuff with them.
Yeah.
And
I seen you on some panels actually.
Yeah.
All right, cool.
I do that, and I do the football thing as well.
You're a football head?
Yeah, bro. Massive Liverpool fan.
Oh, I can't stand football full stop.
Nah?
Yeah, not me.
Oh, well, we'll skip over that for a minute. Yeah, to be honest, I'm a Liverpool fan, so I have nothing to say about football this season. I'm
okay.
Yeah, I'm locked off.
Yeah, I'm sure that makes sense to someone listening.
Yeah. Anybody will laugh at my... Anybody listening that cares about football will be laughing at my pain right now.
Yeah.
But so basically, I did this video called Hip Hop Tribes, and it was breaking down the subcategories of a hip hop fan. And it's a little bit tongue in cheek, and I'm definitely mocking the average hip hop fan. But what's funny is I went, as I said before, I'm studying next year. I'm doing a degree in audio production at SAE, and obviously I'm a mature age student, but I don't even have GCSEs. Like, I have no formal education, so I'm not supposed to be accepted onto a university degree program without having done some sort of like bridge course.
Yep.
But they gave me an interview, and they Googled me after I sent through all my stuff. And they found that, and when I went for the interview, basically that video got me a place on a university course. Because the guy was so impressed with my
knowledge.
Like, not even necessarily knowledge,
your
but my
viewpoint.
Like, he just, he was impressed with my take on it, you know? And he was like, you have an understanding of, like, it's almost like not even just a music understanding, but it's almost like an understanding of anthropology, like social anthropology, to understand different tribes within people. So it's interesting. I called the guys at Jump Off and I got accepted, and I was like, you know, that video pretty much got me my place.
What they want, 50%, bro.
Nah.
Future earnings.
They can pay 50% of the fees if they want. Harry and Ara. Yeah.
Sick, man, bro. So you just went out, you done your own thing, but then again, it's like coupled with years of experience. So that video shows everything you've done without boasting it. Yeah, or just not even what I've done, but just like being a fan. Yeah. Because I'm a fan before anything else. Like, being a fan of the music and understanding the different groups of people who are also fans, and watching how fans have changed throughout, you know, a 25 year time. So, I mean, I think even if I'd never actually done anything with them, just being a fan, I could have come up with the same viewpoint. Bro, I was watching it. I showed Aaron when he came in. I was like, you hammer home things that have been in the back of my mind for a long time, but then you brought it to the forefront. And because I look at you as an authority in your craft, I was like, that's right. A lot of people got offended by that. Yeah, of course they got offended. You know why? Because there was some truth in it, and they probably realized that they are one of the characters. Yeah, completely. But I think I could probably say that I fit into all of them a little bit. Like, we've all been through them, right? Yeah, definitely. And definitely. Do you think you found yourself as a human being? Definitely. And that's what made me comfortable to do something like that. Because I feel like I've been through all these stages. Now I'm just me. I take a look. I'm a product of all of it. Yeah. You know. When do you reckon you found yourself? When were you sure, like, you know what, fucking hell, this is now who I am? I think it was my trip to New York and then coming back. When was that, sorry? About 5 years ago. So because I had my 30th birthday in New York. I feel like 30 is this weird age where, I don't know how old you are. I'm 33. Okay, so you're a few years older than Aaron. Yeah. So I feel like 30 is the age where either you give up, and you just kind of, you conform,
or you gain this self-awareness where you're fuck
the
this.
next wave.
Yeah, exactly.
That's where I am.
I was saying
right
it to
now.
a friend of mine turned 30 recently, and they're like, oh man, I was like, bruv, the best years of my life have been from 30 to 35.
Yeah.
Like, and everyone every older person in their 50s and 60s that I've ever spoken to who didn't settle and just, do the conformist thing in their late 20s and actually went out and traveled and followed their dreams. All of these people have said to me, your 30s are the best years of your life. 30 to 40,
year, yeah.
That's,
I've read somewhere that man does his best work at the age of 40. That's his best work.
Yeah.
But do you think this is just because your personality is similar to mine? Like, we do our own thing. We have been doing our own thing from the get-go.
Yeah.
And so we've done years of independent hustle, up and down, trials and tribulations, that at 30 now, after hustling for so long, we know who we are. How about the people that haven't and are just maybe starting to find them, starting on their journey at 28, 29?
I feel they're often the people that end up conforming and settling in their late 20s. Yeah.
So you think it's better advice to go for what you think you should be from day one? Yeah. So we're talking about out of college, out of uni?
Yeah, 100%. Do you know what it is? Do you know what you've got to realize is one day you're going to get to a point and realize none of it mattered. Like, all that mattered was doing what made you happy. Yeah. Nothing else mattered. Like, all the expectations other people have of you or what you think you should be doing, it's all fabricated and made up. Yeah. None of it matters. What matters is being healthy, being happy, and when I say being in love, I don't necessarily mean in love with a partner, but at peace. But feeling love, loving what you do, loving the people around you, being around good people, treating yourself right, raising your family right, and being happy. That's all that matters. All the other shit about what you're supposed to have, what you're supposed to wear, what kind of job you're supposed to do, the expectations, it's all bullshit. It means nothing.
Agreed.
It means nothing. And you will never lie on your deathbed and worry about those things. You'll lie on your deathbed and worry about, did I spend enough time with the people that I loved? Did I spend enough time doing what made me happy? Did I do what I wanted to do within my life? And I never want to be one of those people that's like, why the fuck did I do that shitty job for 30 years when I should have just sat there and made music and been poor?
You're in that team now. If I was to pull out a gun and shoot you right now, I don't think on your dying bed you'd have regrets. Am I correct to say that?
I'd probably regret coming to this interview.
Surely there's an afterthought there. No, there's nothing to talk about. I just brought up the fact that I might murder you, bro.
Yeah, I'm feeling a bit uncomfortable now. Let's wrap this up.
No, but you know what, bro? It's been a pleasure. Every time I sit down with someone, I mean, I've always held you in high regard. Anyway.
I appreciate it,
I grew up with, me and Aaron, we used to come down to Livin Proof in the early days. Yeah. And we used to hear you guys spin. And it's crazy, right, in life where you would see someone and you'd rate them. You're like, you know what, that person's a G, or that woman is doing some great stuff. Yeah. And then as you do your own thing and you grow confidence in what you're doing, you realize that we are all kind of on the same level in terms of mindset. Yeah. And then we meet each other, and now I've got a chance to speak to you. I'm inspired and uplifted again. And
that's the beautiful thing is, as you get older, as people start to drop off from doing their own thing creatively, is everybody starts to kind of meet at this peak. Yeah. Everybody that's still doing it, cross paths. Yeah. And, because we've all been doing it for so long, there's so much to have in common.
And there's a calmness and a mutual understanding, a mutual respect. Yeah. A lot of ego goes away. Yeah. Doesn't it? Yeah. After a couple of years.
But 100%, but also, do you know what I love as well? Just to throw a little bit of praise back as well. With your whole team, with what you guys do, I remember having a conversation with Aaron once, and I was like, bruv, like, every time I see you, you're dipped. You're wearing some like fly shit, and I love fashion. It's slightly different type of fashion. I'm more like I love my streetwear. I love my kind of like upmarket than Japanese high-end streetwear, or whatever. But so slightly different from what you guys are necessarily into. But every time I see Aaron, I'm like, fuck, man, you've always got some shit on. Like, and he's like, bruv, I don't spend a lot of money on clothes. He's like, I buy, I second hand, I go vintage, I buy like, he's like, I don't spend stupid money on clothes. Like, and it made me realize that like, you have a similar mentality in your outlook on things. It's not about, it's about culture, and it's about style, and it's about authenticity in what you do. It's not just about like, I'm trying to be at the top, so I'm going to do the most expensive, the biggest, the brashest, and a lot of people who are in a creative world, to them, that's their goal. Their goal is to be like, right, if you're in fashion, I've got to wear Balmain and fucking whatever every day. If I'm in hip hop, I've got to have more money, more jewelry, more, I've got to be current and with the latest trends every day. And I feel like there's a mentality within your guys' camp where it's about style, authenticity, and culture behind what you do, as opposed to just the big brash shit. Which
thank you for that, bro. I appreciate that, man.
Yeah, no, it's
beautiful word for us and the team. I think with us, the team has organically grown. It's like me and Aaron had this discussion a few years ago. We have never actively gone out searching for anybody on the team. We have met people, we have worked with them, we felt their energy, and we realized we're all a similar mindset, and then they end up on the team. It's like, I remember when
that's how
even
it's
people have
supposed
left
to
as well.
happen.
That's how it's supposed to, like, in any relationship, right? It's like, some people have been on a team and left, come and gone. Like Anthony Latouche, I don't know if you know these guys. Kieran Ferro.
A lot of these
who was
guys
spinning at Aaron's birthday with the
by
dreads.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, but one day we went for a team meeting and Kieran came with someone. Like, I didn't invite this guy. Yeah. And even at that point, me and Aaron were like, why is he here? Anyway, let's just carry on the meeting. Came to the next meeting. All of a sudden, he's coming up with ideas, and this guy just is on the team. Yeah, it's crazy, man. It's like I think similar energies that are doing similar things are drawn towards each other. Because as cheesy as that sounds, it's all happening.
Completely, because it's about you rooting out the people that are in love with
the idea,
culture, and in love with, like, because it's all culture, whether fashion, music, whatever, it's all culture. And if you have a love for it as opposed to a love for the image of what it brings, eventually that shit rises to the top, and it's a natural progression.
Because you can spot, like me now, having done a creative thing for a couple of years, I can spot the people at the early stages who are in it for what they believe the lifestyle is.
Yeah, exactly.
As opposed
and
to
it's
the
same in fashion as it is in music.
That's right.
I've had so many arguments with people who wear designer labels head to foot, and I'm trying to explain to them.
Bro, I was reading your Twitter feed.
I'm like, you're not into fashion. You're into spending a lot of money on clothes and thinking that helps to promote your image. Like, majority of people that I know that are truly into fashion, they don't wear designer labels.
You know?
They're
more into style probably than
They're more into style. And it's the designer labels. Bruv, I'm sure you're very aware of this, but designer labels look at units like you guys.
No, I know.
That's what they look at.
Yeah, of course
they look at that for inspiration, you know? It's not the other way around, and that's the way it's supposed to be. It's like what people don't realize is people wearing designer labels are not the influencers. The people that the designer labels are looking at are the influencers, which is guys like you guys. That's what you do. You know, you set trends and you set styles that the people
the
at
whole
the top
idea of cool
are going to look at.
In January, you know, I've been speaking for too long. The whole idea of cool in general, to me, what I learned is people not giving a shit about what other people think of them
100%.
and doing what they want to do with conviction.
Yeah.
And again, whether people take to it or not, they don't care, because this is who they are, and they're the people that set the trends. They're the pioneers.
100%.
I get it, man.
100%.
I think sometimes it's nice to find a balance when you realize you are one of those people, and the people at the top are just milking it and capitalists and milking it. It's nice to kind of learn how to get a bit of that back for yourself. And I think we're just kind of learning how to do both at the moment. Still kind of do our own thing, but how we can make a living.
But when you know that those people at the top are taking from you, you got to learn how to get a piece of that pie as well. You know, because essentially you're the reason they're able to do what they do.
And you've learned how to do that yourself as well. With
exactly.
Your craft.
But when I saw, who was it recently? Was it Prada, or I can't remember who it was. Part of their new 2014 spring range, whatever, is an urban tie rag. It's a do rag. They've done a designer do-rag, and I'm looking at people and I'm thinking, this is what you don't understand. You're going to go and buy that, Bro. Thinking that you're on the cutting edge of fashion, not understanding that they're looking at hip-hop, or, you know, urban fashion, and they're stealing from it, and then they're selling it back to you, and it's like, understand that is the trendsetter over here. You were over here, you basically paid a lot of money for something that these people took from here, these guys over here, they're not the influencers. They're not the trendsetters. These guys over here
know your value.
You know? So,
have you seen, talking of that, yesterday, right, it's my brother's 30th not too long ago. We we didn't have a family meal, so Aaron's like, we need a family meal. So we all went to Aaron's house, mum, dad, everyone. And Aaron's just, while his girl's making the food, he's like, check some of these videos out. He showed me the Snoop Dogg colourful socks thing. Bro, have you seen this?
No.
Okay. Damn, we can't even go into it. Please watch this. So basically, Snoop Dogg, as far as I know, from seeing this for like 40 seconds or whatever, Snoop Dogg's come out with a whole load of socks.
Okay.
And supposedly he's painting, and painting gives him a creative outlet, and he's painting and he's just making these socks. And I'm looking at it as this is either a prank or a joke. But Aaron's telling me, no, Rubes, this is real. He's selling these socks.
I'm not surprised.
Do you? I don't know if you rate Snoop anyway for his
I
art.
haven't for about 20 years.
Okay,
but
so when you did, right?
yeah.
Do you rate artists that do these things for money? Or do you lose ratings? Or does it just stay at the same?
It depends on what their inspiration is. All right, see someone like Snoop. Snoop's not an authority on fashion. Never has been, never will be. So when he does something like this, I feel it's ridiculous. See someone like Pharrell now.
Yeah.
I'm a little bit more open to see what Pharrell's doing fashion-wise, because I genuinely think he has an understanding.
Yeah,
and
he's an all-round creative.
Yeah. Kanye, I don't. I think Kanye knows fuck all about fashion.
Oh, you do think that?
Yeah. I don't think Kanye is any authority on fashion. I literally think he is. I think he's clueless. I think he's decided he likes the idea of being the fashion guy that raps.
Or maybe understands that fashion and music go hand in hand, so
possibly,
he can
yeah.
pick up his
But I
profile
think
a
his
bit more.
actual as a creative, I don't think fashion-wise he is. I think A$AP Rocky is more of a creative fashion-wise than Kanye is. I think Pharrell's the Don, to be honest. I think when it comes to an overall creative production, vocals, fashion, sneakers, everything, Pharrell is the truth. On every aspect of it. Don't get me wrong, I don't wear BBC anymore. I think it's become very tacky, and Jay-Z's input has pretty much turned it into a rock aware. But Pharrell, he's the truth. He's the truth of an all-rounder. Kanye, nah, I don't think so.
Sick.
Yeah.
All right, cool, man.
But
all right, bro, I'm gonna let you go, man.
all good, man.
Get some food.
All good.
Thank you very much. Like I said, if I can help with anything, bro, we will always be here.
Bruv, likewise.
Doing our thing.
Likewise, man.
Much
Really
love,
appreciate it.
Have a good one, bro.
And you.
Find out what you're here to do and go and do that. Because before you know it, you're gonna be dead. Aren't you? And you know that I know that you know it's the truth. Come on, get up. Do you, please. Take it.